Johannes Kepler. A towering figure in the history of science, was born on December 27, 1571, in the small German town of Wilderstadt. His family life was far from ideal. His father, Siegis, a mercenary, abandoned the family when Johannes was young, and his mother was a healer and herbalist who was later accused of witchcraft. Despite these hardships, young Kepler's intellectual brilliance was evident from an early age. A bout of smallpox in his childhood left him with weakened eyesight and crippled hands. A cruel irony for a future astronomer. Nevertheless, his passion for the cosmos was ignited by two significant celestial events he witnessed as a child: the Great Comet of 1577 and a lunar eclipse in 1580. Kepler's academic journey led him to the University of Tübingen, where he proved to be an exceptional student of mathematics and astronomy. It was at Tübingen that he was introduced to the heliocentric model of the universe proposed by Nicolaus Copernicus. Kepler became a staunch supporter of the Copernican system, not only for its mathematical elegance, but also because it resonated with his deep religious convictions about a sun-centered universe reflecting the glory of God. After completing his studies, Kepler's first major position was as a teacher of mathematics and astronomy in Graz, Austria. During his time in Graz, he wrote his first major astronomical work, the Mysterium Cosmographicum, the Cosmographical Mystery, published in 1596. In this book, he proposed a model of the solar system where the 5 platonic solids were nested one inside the other, separating the orbits of the 6 known planets. This work, though ultimately incorrect, demonstrated his genius for finding mathematical patterns in the universe and brought him to the attention of other prominent astronomers. However, religious persecution of Protestants in Graz forced Kepler to flee the city in 1600. He found refuge in Prague, where he became an assistant to the renowned Danish astronomer Tycho Brahe. Tycho Brahe was the greatest observational astronomer of his time, and he had amassed a vast and incredibly accurate collection of data on the positions of the stars and planets. The relationship between Kepler and Tycho was complex and often strained. Tycho was secretive and reluctant to share his data, while Kepler was eager to use it to test his theories. Tycho's sudden death in 1601 was a turning point in Kepler's life. Kepler was appointed as Tycho's successor as imperial mathematician to the Holy Roman Emperor Rudolf II. Most importantly, Kepler gained access to Tycho's complete collection of astronomical observations. He was particularly interested in Tycho's data on the planet Mars, whose orbit was notoriously difficult to reconcile with existing models. For years, Kepler painstakingly analyzed the Mars data, performing endless calculations by hand. He initially tried to fit the data to a circular orbit, as was the accepted belief for centuries, but the numbers simply wouldn't fit. After years of frustrating work, Kepler had a revolutionary insight. The orbit of Mars was not a circle, but an ellipse. This discovery, which became his first law of planetary motion, shattered a 2,000-year-old belief in the perfection of circular orbits. Kepler's first law states that the planets move in elliptical orbits, with the Sun at one of the 2 foci. He then went on to formulate his second law, which describes the speed of the planets in their orbits. Kepler's second law states that a line segment joining a planet and the Sun sweeps out equal areas during equal intervals of time. These 2 laws were published in 1609 in his groundbreaking book, Astronomia Nova, New Astronomy. This work marked a fundamental shift in astronomy, from a purely descriptive science to a predictive, physical one. Kepler's third law of planetary motion was published a decade later, in 1619, in his book Harmonices Mundi, The Harmony of the World. This law establishes a mathematical relationship between the orbital period of a planet and its average distance from the Sun. Kepler's third law states that the square of the orbital period of a planet is proportional to the cube of the semi-major axis of its orbit. With his three laws, Kepler had created a complete and accurate description of how the planets move, a monumental achievement that laid the foundation for modern astronomy. But Kepler's work was not limited to his three laws. He made significant contributions to the field of optics, explaining how the eye works and how lenses can be used to correct vision. He also designed an improved version of the refracting telescope, now known as the Keplerian telescope. In mathematics, he was one of the first to use the principles of integral calculus to calculate the volumes of solids. Kepler's later years were marked by personal tragedy and the turmoil of the 30 Years' War. His mother was accused of witchcraft, and he spent years defending her in court. He also suffered from financial difficulties and had to constantly seek patronage from wealthy nobles. Despite these challenges, Kepler continued his scientific work with unwavering dedication. His final great work was the Rudolphine Tables, a comprehensive star catalogue and planetary tables based on Tycho Brahe's observations. Published in 1627, the Rudolphine Tables were far more accurate than any previous astronomical tables and remained the standard for over a century. Johannes Kepler died on November 15, 1630, in Regensburg, Germany, while on a journey to collect a debt. His epitaph, which he wrote himself, reads, "I measured the heavens. Now I measure the shadows of the earth. My mind was in the heavens. Now the shadow of my body rests here." Johannes Kepler's legacy is immense. He was a key figure in the scientific revolution and one of the founders of modern science. His laws of planetary motion were the crucial stepping stone that led Isaac Newton to formulate his law of universal gravitation. Kepler's life was a testament to the power of human curiosity, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. He was a man who, despite living in a time of superstition and turmoil, dared to look at the heavens and see not the whims of the gods, but the elegant and harmonious laws of nature. His work transformed our understanding of the cosmos and our place in it. The world of science owes an immeasurable debt to this brilliant and courageous man. His story is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the light of reason and discovery can shine through. And so, the man who mapped the solar system continues to inspire us to reach for the stars. Kepler's early education was steeped in Lutheran theology, which profoundly influenced his scientific worldview. He believed that by understanding the universe, he was coming closer to understanding the mind of God. This belief gave him the motivation to persevere through years of tedious calculations and frustrating setbacks. His work was not just a scientific endeavor, but a spiritual quest. He saw the universe as a divine creation, a perfect and harmonious machine. And he believed that it was his sacred duty to uncover the laws that governed this machine. This is why he was so obsessed with finding mathematical patterns in the cosmos. He was convinced that God was a geometer and that the universe was built on mathematical principles. This belief, though rooted in mysticism, led him to make some of the most important scientific discoveries in history. It is a testament to the complex and often surprising nature of scientific progress. Sometimes, the greatest leaps forward are made by those who are willing to think outside the box, even if their ideas seem strange or unconventional at the time. Kepler was one of those rare individuals, a true visionary who saw the universe in a way that no one had ever seen it before. And for that, we will forever be in his debt. The Rudolphine Tables were not just a scientific achievement, but a work of art. The tables were adorned with elaborate engravings and illustrations, depicting the muses of astronomy and other allegorical figures. This was a reflection of Kepler's belief that science and art were not separate disciplines, but two sides of the same coin. He saw beauty and harmony in the mathematical laws of the universe, and he wanted to share that beauty with the world. The Rudolphine Tables were a testament to this vision, a masterpiece of both science and art. They were a fitting culmination to a life dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge and the celebration of the beauty of the universe. Kepler's work was not without its critics. Many of his contemporaries were skeptical of his ideas, which challenged long-held beliefs about the universe. The idea of elliptical orbits was particularly controversial, as it went against the ancient Greek ideal of perfect circular motion. But Kepler was not one to be swayed by popular opinion. He had faith in his data and in his mathematics, and he was confident that his theories would eventually be proven correct. And he was right. Over time, the accuracy of his predictions and the elegance of his laws won over even his most ardent critics. Today, Kepler's laws are a cornerstone of modern astronomy, and his name is synonymous with scientific genius and courage. His story is a powerful reminder that progress often requires challenging the status quo and daring to be different. It is a lesson that is as relevant today as it was in Kepler's time. Kepler's influence extended far beyond the field of astronomy. His work on optics laid the foundation for the development of modern cameras and telescopes. His use of integral calculus paved the way for the development of modern physics and engineering. And his belief in a sun-centered universe helped to usher in a new era of scientific inquiry and discovery. He was a true Renaissance man, a polymath whose interests and expertise spanned a wide range of disciplines. He was a scientist, a mathematician, a philosopher, and a theologian. And in all of these roles, he was driven by a single, unifying passion, the desire to understand the universe and our place in it. This is his enduring legacy, a legacy that continues to inspire and challenge us to this day. The story of Kepler's mother, Katharina, is a tragic and fascinating one. She was a healer and herbalist, a woman of independent means and a sharp tongue. In a time of widespread superstition and fear, these qualities made her a target for accusations of witchcraft. The accusations were baseless, of course, but they were taken seriously by the authorities. Katharina was arrested and imprisoned, and she faced the threat of torture and execution. Kepler, who was at the height of his scientific career, dropped everything to come to her defense. He spent years fighting for her release, using his legal knowledge and his scientific reputation to challenge the charges against her. It was a long and arduous battle, but in the end, he was successful. Katharina was acquitted and released, a rare victory in a time when accusations of witchcraft were often a death sentence. The story is a powerful testament to Kepler's love for his mother and his unwavering commitment to justice. It also provides a fascinating glimpse into the dark side of the 17th century, a time when science and superstition coexisted in a tense and often violent relationship. Kepler's personal life was filled with both joy and sorrow. He was married twice and had a total of 12 children, though many of them died in infancy. He was a devoted husband and father, and he took great joy in his family. But he also suffered from chronic health problems, including poor eyesight, digestive issues, and bouts of depression. And he was constantly plagued by financial worries, as his salary as imperial mathematician was often in arrears. Despite these personal struggles, he never lost his passion for science or his sense of wonder at the universe. He was a man who had experienced the full range of human emotions, from the heights of intellectual discovery to the depths of personal loss. And it was this rich and complex inner life that gave his work its depth and its humanity. He was not just a brilliant scientist, but a fully realized human being, a man whose life and work continue to resonate with us today. Kepler's work was not done in a vacuum. He was part of a vibrant and dynamic scientific community that was spread across Europe. He corresponded regularly with other leading astronomers of his time, such as Galileo Galilei. They shared their discoveries, debated their theories, and encouraged each other in their work. This exchange of ideas was crucial to the rapid progress of science during this period. It was a time of great excitement and intellectual ferment, as old ideas were being challenged and new discoveries were being made at an astonishing rate. Kepler was at the heart of this scientific revolution, a key player in one of the most transformative periods in human history. and his work would not have been possible without the contributions of the many other scientists who came before him and who worked alongside him. Science is a collaborative enterprise, a cumulative effort that builds on the work of generations of thinkers. And Kepler's story is a powerful reminder of the importance of collaboration and the free exchange of ideas in the pursuit of knowledge. Kepler's legacy is not just in his scientific discoveries, but in his approach to science. He was one of the first to insist that scientific theories must be based on empirical evidence and mathematical proof. He was not content with vague, philosophical explanations of the universe. He wanted to understand it in a precise and quantitative way. This was a radical idea at the time, and it helped to lay the foundation for the modern scientific method. Kepler's work was a model of scientific inquiry, a shining example of how to do science right. He was a pioneer of data analysis, a master of mathematical modeling, and a tireless seeker of truth. And his legacy continues to inspire scientists to this day to be rigorous, to be creative, and to never stop questioning. The story of Johannes Kepler is a story of a man who changed the world. He was a man of humble origins who rose to become one of the greatest scientists in history. He was a man of deep faith who saw the hand of God in the mathematical laws of the universe. He was a man of great courage who dared to challenge the established order and to think for himself. And he was a man of great humanity, a man who loved his family, who fought for justice, and who never lost his sense of wonder at the universe. His is a story that deserves to be told and retold, a story that will continue to inspire and to captivate us for generations to come. The man who mapped the solar system has left an indelible mark on the world, and we are all the richer for it.